Oh, well, I was like, it's definitely feel good. Like, one, that's helping a charity that's close to my heart, and two, it's helping us get out there and what we're trying to achieve. Like, you know what I mean?
What is the charity?
Team Hope.
Team Hope.
Oh no, the charity that we're doing it for.
Is Team Hope the actual charity, or is that
No,
use?
well, Team Hope is a non-profit organisation that we've organised ourselves. Like, well, me
Yourself,
organising.
Sean,
Yeah.
and who else? Or is it just you
It's
started
just,
it off? Sean?
I started it off my own bat, and then obviously my partner, like, she has me rock, like, that I have to say about that. Like, she does all the social media part of it, like, you know what I mean? Where I'm training to be a personal trainer myself, and I'm going to be doing all the physical part of it, you know what I mean? Helping.
So where did Team Hope start? What did start it even? Or why Team Hope? Why?
That's a very good question. Well, basically the way it goes, like, I was born, is what David Goggins says, like, and I'll probably keep referring back to him during this podcast.
No
like,
bother at all.
I was dealt a bad hand in life, like.
Well, do you want to say who David Goggins is in quick, in case someone doesn't know who David Goggins is?
Well, David Goggins was an ex-Navy SEAL, and he's an ultra-marathon runner and a motivational speaker. I would highly recommend anybody looking into him. He's easily to look into. And do their
You
research
ever see
on
what he
it.
does now? Does he? For me left the Navy.
The ultra-marathons and stuff.
No, do you know what his job is?
No.
A fire jumper.
Oh, fire jumper, aye.
What
No,
the
that's
fuck?
great. No, that's not a job. He does that as
It's like a hobby nearly. That's his training for the ultras.
Aye.
So he's an ultra running. What's an ultra? Just anything over, is it 50k?
I think 50 mile, doesn't it?
I think 30 mile, 50k.
Does it?
As long as you top over out there, it's kind of just borderline over the marathon kind of thing. 20.
Yeah.
So anything over 30 mile, as far as I know, I could be wrong,
No.
but I'm nearly sure it is. But that's what he does anyway, and that's who you kind of
Yeah.
look up to.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, like I was kind of what I was saying there. I was dealt what I would say a bad hand in life. Like, you know what I mean. So it started off with I was diagnosed with leukemia twice. The first time when I was 2, and then I relapsed when I was 7 to 8 years old. Then, and kind of just there was no family support there. It was just me and my mum. Like, you know what I mean. Grew up without a dad. Type of stuff, you know.
Leukemia, that's type of cancer, is it, or what?
Oh yeah, that's it.
And
It's like
where?
it's well, they don't know exactly where it starts, but they always have their suspicion it's kind of around the spleen area, stuff like that there. But it's basically in for your blood. So they just treat you by high intensive of chemotherapy, lumbar punctures and stuff like that.
What you say the first time you had that was 3?
2
Sorry.
2 years old.
So what, is it the same process as 2 as what it was then when you were 7, 8?
Oh no, definitely. Yeah, it was just start all over again.
No, but I mean, do they do the same treatments, the same chemo treatments, the 2-year-old, as they would a 7 or 8 or an adult?
Yeah, basically. It was just like pump you as much as they can give you, like, you know what I mean, until they see results. And that was basically how it went.
And how long did that go on for when you were first diagnosed?
2 years at a time.
Both of them was 2 years?
Both of them was 2 years at a time now. So the way they would have worked it, they would have probably been pumping you with chemo intravenously, 3 drops, and then they would have had you on all these different types of medications too as well, like tablets and whatnot. And then they obviously would have had the tablets, and they counteract what was doing damage, you know what I mean, doing damage to you also on top of it. I can't tell you very much about the first time because I was so young, like, you know what I mean.
But growing up then, after the first time, was there much quality of life then for the first time compared to someone, I don't know, starting school? What age do you start school at, really? You're 4 or 5 or whatever.
Something like that, yeah. So
you going into school, was it forgotten about then in your mind, or?
Well, I probably just, you know what I mean, as a child, just see myself as a pretty normal generic child.
That's what I was thinking now until you started
comparing.
comparing.
Went to P1, P2, you know what I mean, and then P3, and I think I was going into P3. I was pulled out it, because I always would have, being in remission then, they would always would have been checking on you and stuff like that. And I always remember the phone call that my ma had at the time. She went in the kitchen at the time, we were in Dundreen living. And she came out and she was in tears, like. It's Mags, I'm actually seeing it in my head now when I'm talking to you, like. and I always was going like, what's wrong type of thing, like, you know what I mean, as a young kid. And you know what I mean, she just told me like, you have to go back to the hospital again. And then when they took me up, then she was like a whole handling, because I was like adamant that I wasn't sick. I didn't feel sick.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
It's hard to go to the hospital when you don't feel sick as well, innit?
And I probably, I don't want to go back there, obviously, because, I'd be a young kid, that type of stuff's very intimidating, you know what I mean? And knowing what I'd already been through probably at that age.
Did you know when you seen her get that phone call, this was about you or anything, or when did you?
Oh, I definitely, like, my human instinct, you know what I mean? Again, I kicked on there, like, that I knew myself, you know what I mean? Something wasn't right, you know what I mean? It was just, it was an abnormal thing, like, you know what I mean? They happen.
And you seeing your mother upset, do you have any kind of thoughts on that there yourself, as in, it's just me doing that or something? Is it Wayne seeing your mother upset and linking it back to...
No, look, definitely, even me saying
you want to be the
that,
protector then yourself after? Don't worry about me, I'm not sick. And is that where the I'm not sick kept coming from?
Yes, exactly. Well, that, and I didn't probably feel sick at the time too as well, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean, being taken back up under the hospital, they were... You know what I mean, obviously going to start, but they had to start all over again. And obviously it did happen, you know what I mean, they did, you know what I mean, start all the treatment and stuff. And then I went on to like severe depression. I refused visitors, closed the blinds.
And this was as a seven kind of 8-year-old child.
Yeah, you know what I mean, refused visitors. My mum was, you know what I mean, buying me presents, trying all she could to cheer me up and stuff like that. And because, you're getting that intensive treatment, you're not allowed to leave the hospital.
So how long are you in the hospital for? The full 2 years?
No, you know what I mean? But you would have been, like, at the start, you would have been probably in there for, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe months at a time type of thing, like, you know what I mean? And you're way up in Belfast in a strange place to a child, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't home, you know what I mean?
They've only recently opened the cancer ward, haven't they, in Altnagavin?
But that's still for adults.
Is it? Right, okay.
So do you see any child even in this town, which is... a lot of children still here, like you hear about it nearly almost every week. That children are going up from Derry to Belfast to get treatment.
It's mad, and is there no further forward or even trying to do anything in Derry to introduce it for children? Or?
I don't think so, Phil. I really don't. Like, I know Belfast is actually the hematology. They're getting a whole new hospital at the minute, a whole new unit and stuff like that built for them, and that's probably why me raising funds and stuff's going to be so crucial for them too. Also,
is that what your funds is going towards?
It could be, like, you know what I mean. It would be going towards, it's good. It's for the Children's Cancer Unit charity we're doing it for. So they're obviously going to use the funds on, like, probably the likes of that, resources, stuff for the families and stuff like that. You know what I mean, and helping the children, in a positive aspect. Taking them on trips and stuff like that with other sick children. And stuff like that. But
so when you says as a child you had depression as a 7 kind of 8-year-old, right? When did you come out of that or realise?
My mum had to actually approach the doctor. He actually died this year, and I've a lot to thank for the man, because he's the reason I'm here today. Dr. MC called him. He was the main consultant at the time up there
in Belfast.
My mum approached him, and they all knew me as a happy-go-lucky child. Like, you know what I mean? I was always happy, bouncing about type of thing.
This is not a sick Wayne kind of thing.
Exactly, you know what I mean? I was always a very active child, you know what I mean? And so she had approached him, and she saw, I think my son's severely depressed here, and he was all, no, I think you're right. Like, she agreed. He was all, and she saw, I think I need to take him home. They come back to his normal self, because the pride of depression alone probably would have killed me, you know what I mean? It wouldn't have helped everything that was going on. So he agreed. He was all, the only time that I can let you out with that is you just bring him up every day.
Oh, you were up and down from Belfast every day? And did your mother drive?
No.
Buses?
We had to actually take the ambulance bus, so that would have collected you about 5-6 in the morning, and it would have took you around the whole north.
And in your eyes, was that better than staying in the hospital at the time?
Well, it was better staying in the hospital.
I didn't mind.
But it was, you know what I mean, in the winter times it would have been hard, you know what I mean, because, you know what I mean, it was cold and stuff like that. And then plus then you would have been open to all sorts of infections and diseases too as well, because you had no immune system by getting the chemo. And so my mother had to actually started what they called like they're like taxis for people. You know what I mean? People, they were like ambulance taxis. I'm not describing this right at all. Like, you know what I mean? But
Well, what is it? Just a taxi that would nearly run you up and down?
so
but
basically,
paid for the
it was people that would you know what I mean? I don't know if they were volunteers or paid workers, but they would have just came and collected you and took you up to the hospital. So they would have, and it was kind of my mum that pushed for that. You know what I mean? And it actually went. It wasn't just for me; it was for a lot of children. Of children. You know what I mean? Because there would have been a wee girl, Cora, too, as well. She would have got collected. I think she was out Drumahoe direction too, as well. Sadly, Cora never made it there too, as well. She was one of my friends at the time. So you would have kind of travelled by her all the time too, as well. You know what I mean?
Did you see a lot of people like that kind of?
Oh yeah, but I never. That's further on to my story. Like it's none of that ever phased me up until I was nearly 18 years old. Like at
that stage, you were fighting your fight, maybe.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? It was like, you know what I mean, fight or flight mode. But like I said too, as well, I didn't seem like I was a sick child. I didn't feel I was sick, except for when, you know, when they give you the high bouts of chemo, like, you know what I mean, and you get your head stuck down the toilet type of thing.
What is that? How do they give you the chemo?
So basically, they would have put like a central line in your arm. So the first time it was in this arm, and then the second time it was on this arm, and then they would have done what they call lumbar punctures as well. So they would have basically.
What is a lumbar puncture?
A lumbar puncture is where they would have took you to theatre and they would have injected it right into your spinal cord.
Oh.
And that would have travelled in. That would have been to stop like it spreading up under your brain and stuff like that.
So that sounds awful. What's that like?
You would have had that done every 2 weeks.
I couldn't. I'd faint at the side of a needle sitting there.
Nah, mate.
So
but I was good as a kid, like, you know what I mean. But that's, well, I'm good as a kid.
But what? Oh no! What is it? Sore or is it one of them things that's just needs done again?
They would have knocked you out for it.
Oh, so you wouldn't have been conscious for
no, but you definitely felt it when you woke up, like, you know what I mean, because Mum would have had to carry me, you know what I mean, from obviously the recovery room down to where we would have been collected that day by whoever was collecting us.
So you'd have done that and went home still. That wouldn't have kept you in over a night or anything like that, no.
Down and then maybe probably having to come up maybe the next day or 2 days later again, you know what I mean? They get more done.
No, I don't know how. What ways it actually make you feel? Do you know what I mean? That's. I know the depression or whatever, but are you seeing the depression in yourself, or is everyone seeing it in you at that age?
More, everybody was seeing it. I didn't feel like I was feeling it, you know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know what had gone on at that time. Like, I suppose it
still to you that was normal.
It was because I'd already done it a couple of years beforehand, so that was basically a normal way of life for me. You know what I mean? Because from a very young age, like, you know what I mean? I suppose, you know what I mean? 2 years old, you're new to the world, man. You know what I mean? So it was normal. It was normal to have people poking and prodding at you all the time and giving you all this madness. Like,
it's mad that you can normalise it like that there and just kind of simplify it to make it grand.
Yeah, but that was the young, you know what I mean, journey and stuff like that. And then obviously got the all clear then when I was like 15 years old, and the doctor was giving me the all clear. He called her Dr. Kieran. She's a lovely woman too as well. She would have been over me too as well the whole time since I was a youngster as well. And I remember her saying to me at the time was like you've got the all clear, congratulations, Sean, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And she was all like, you know, you probably need to go for a lot of counselling and therapy now that this is over you. And I was at the time, I was like, you know, oh fuck, you just give me the all clear, like. I'm as happy as, you know what I mean.
How much more happy can you be after hearing that?
You know what I mean. So I was like, you know what I mean, being stubborn too as well at that point, where I was like, no, I'll be all right. You know what I mean.
But if that was someone else, would you suggest them now to go into therapy?
Yes, definitely.
Right.
Definitely. Even, you know what I mean, even
if you're feeling great after it.
Yes.
Do it just because you're only feeling great because of the news, nearly.
Yeah.
Right.
100%. because
And then did you eventually have to go to therapy, or did you still try and fight?
no, what
against
happened?
it?
What happened to me then after like a series of unfortunate events in between that, like because so let me backtrack a minute too as well. Like it wasn't just having cancer that was the problems too as well. Like what I mean, I got the shit kicked out of me for having cancer. Like what I mean, I was bullied to shit.
Bullied in school kind of thing, or
bullied in school, bullied on the street, you know what I mean? Because you're always seen as that different kid, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? You were just an easy target, a vulnerable kid, probably, you know what I mean? So people, you know what I mean, tend that they pick on you and shit like that, you know what I mean? I know many times I had the shit kicked out of me.
just for looking, being, whatever. And
yeah, man.
that kind of cancer, are you the hair away?
Oh,
Stuff
yeah,
like that there as well?
100%. It was like, you know what I mean? You light bulb head on you, like, you know what I mean?
And that's mad. I don't know. Wayne's will be Wayne's, I suppose, too, but it's nuts.
Aye. I think it was more that probably had done its damage, you know what I mean?
That done more damage than the actual cancer in your eyes.
Yes, because, you know what I mean, when you were up in the hospital, you were surrounded by people that was going through the same type of stuff, you know what I mean?
You confided on them and quicker.
And then when you were home, you were getting the shit kicked out of you or called cancer boy or shit like that, you know what I mean? Just for being different, you know what I mean, in a way?
Something like that there, it must be hard for like your mother to sit back and watch that as well as her child having cancer. So what, like, have you ever sat down and chatted to her about her thoughts over the years after that, or?
Yeah, no, definitely, especially in recent years, you know, kind of now, like we've chatted about it a lot, you know what I mean, and like kind of lots come out about, you know what I mean, that we've actually been able to sit because, I don't know.
Because you're here?
Because I'm here.
Because you're here?
Because I'm here and what I'm doing now, you know what I mean, because I didn't realise, you know, how much that I had actually buried way under my head. You know what I mean? I suppressed a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, and
then the bullying alone, without even thinking of the cancer side, the bullying alone will affect some people, and then it's not even that. I don't know. It's hard to see a parent fighting two fights nearly.
Yep.
And she's watching you fight in the street and then fight when you're in the hospital, where you're only seeing one of them really as a fight.
Exactly, Phil, you know what I mean? And I'd seen her, like, you know what I mean, going to people's, you know what I mean, homes and saying, like, you know what I mean, not being like a mad woman or anything about it, just a person saying, look, hey, this is getting out of hand here or something, you know what I mean? And her being told, well, I shouldn't even be out, type of thing, like, you know, not even a type of thing. One incident alone, like, that's what somebody had said.
Someone actually says you shouldn't be out in the street.
I shouldn't be out in the street, so I wasn't entitled to have a life because I was sick. It was pretty dark, like, isn't it?
And this is another mother, father, one of the children.
Yes.
Trying to justify what their own children's doing, more or less.
Yes,
isn't it?
So basically, you know what I mean, I shouldn't be out then, type of thing. You know what I mean? If there's that big a problem, I shouldn't be out. I was like, wow.
You're going out to get away from it?
Yeah. Trying to go out to be a normal kid, like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, you know what I mean? You're trying to live your life as best as possible because there's very little that you could do. Like, you know what I mean? You weren't allowed.
Your social life was a hospital?
Social life was a hospital, and because you had no immune system, like, you know what I mean, you weren't allowed on the swimming pools, you know what I mean, you couldn't go to school. That's
what I was just going to say. Is school non-existent there?
School was non-existent, so would have had to be like tutors, but that would have, like, you know, a tutor would have came in an hour a week maybe or something like that.
Really? That low?
There would have been school up in the hospital. They had a wee school in the unit too as well, like they had a wee classroom, but
did that reflect in your education then going into secondary school? I know you didn't have the cancer then. And
definitely. Like,
but did they implement anything to help further on that? Or was it just, he's here, well?
No, once I got the all clear and stuff, you know, when I went on the remission, I went back to school. And I would have been due for P6. Mm-hmm. But they held me back a year in on the P5 because they thought I missed that much that it would have been crucial.
Probably fair enough because that is them trying to help your education in an extra year, but that probably doesn't help with the bullying side of things now.
Yeah, exactly, you know what I mean? And
at least you're older than them.
It didn't matter because, like, I wouldn't have been, like, you know, an aggressive person or anything like that, you know what I mean? Because I was always told to stay away from, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Physical fights, grew up, you know what I mean? You cannot get injured because you literally, if your bloods were that low, you could literally bleed to death. You know what I mean?
That's mad. And then later on, the teen years, secondary school, stuff like that, there, the things start coming round normal-ish. Well, what's normal? But you know what I mean? Did it kind of come round, or was the cancer forgot about?
Well, it was definitely forgot about because I think I was, what, 15 when I got the all clear. You know what I mean? So I just basically went and lived my normal life anyway. Once I was on remission and at school and stuff anyway, I just tried to live my life as normal as possible anyway, like, you know what I mean? Because the longer you run remission, you know, the less you've seen of the hospital and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So I just tried to live my life as basically as I could.
So what age are you now? You're 30, did you say last? Or 31, sorry, very recently.
41, man.
31 there last week. And your new fight now is this. What am I wearing?
Yeah, the Team Hope logo.
Team Hope.
So Team Hope stands for hope, and my eyes stands for Heroes Overcome Obstacles.
Heroes overcome obstacles.
And push to evolve.
Okay.
So basically, no matter what challenges you deal with in life, you know what I mean?
Aye.
Push over them.
What started Team Hope?
Well, that's what I was getting at, you know, when I, after all that there stuff happened, then, you know, I kind of went down the drug and alcohol route. Like, you know.
What kind of age was that? Was that the legal age of drinking or before?
Oh, no, definitely. It was I'd say I was late 17, you know what I mean, going on 18 years, you know what I mean? And it was kind of because one day I woke up and it was mad, like I was just out normal, having, I mean, out with your mates, having a game of football, went to walk home, and it was like somebody had like this movie play on fast forward, where like everything from the hospital and friends dying and anything that I experienced was bad.
Just came
forefront flooded, man, I mean, flooded on like a hurricane.
Can you remember that moment where it happened?
Oh yes, I can still remember that. As I'm talking to you, I can still see it happen in my head right now. You know?
So you were walking home, do you say, from football?
Just walking home, you know what I mean? At the game of football, maybe, you know what I mean? Shanty Cage, stuff like that there, and I just, boom, just came on like a hurricane, like, you know what I mean? Like a tsunami, just.
And what did that lead to?
That led to sleepless nights, you know what I mean? Just basically not being able to live in my own head and stuff like that. So then I kind of went on the crowd there, you know what I mean, where alcohol and drugs was the scene then, you know what I mean, at that point. And the sesh became my life for a good couple of years then. And
did it help, or yet again, repress?
That was the only reason I done it, was to stay out of my own head. You know what I mean? So if I wasn't, you know what I mean, if I wasn't on, you know what I mean, like amphetamines and stuff at night, you know what I mean, I was getting up in the morning, you know what I mean, and going for a bag of grass, you know what I mean, just an excuse to just not face what was going on in there.
Aye.
Like I was like...
And this was more or less after the problems, you were trying to numb...
Yeah,
the thought of the problems, not the actual problems, because the problem, obviously, if you were...
Well, I was suffering with post-traumatic stress.
Aye.
And I didn't even know at the time, like, you know what I mean? Because I was still in a stubborn frame of mind also, like, you know, that I don't want to be around doctors, I don't want the help, I just thought I was just...
No matter what, I'm not sick again.
You know what I mean, you know, I'm a teenager, you know what I mean, going on the 18 work, like, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know, where you kind of go on, like, you know what I mean, you're just like, I'll do this and I'll do that.
Aye.
Type of stuff.
Many years did that last?
That lasted a good three years, mate.
3 years, just drugs, drank.
Yep. And my poor mother, and my God bless my poor mother, like, she had to put up with a lot of crap on me, like, you know what I mean, because not only did she have to basically nurse her child back to health, then she had to watch him, you know.
Destroy his health?
Why? You know what I mean? And, you know, I was...
What was the end zone of the drinking drugs? When did you know, right, I need to go off this, or was there...
I think I was about 6.5 stone and I ended up in hospital. What I initially thought was my heart. Wasn't my heart at all. Like, there was a lot of things, but long story short, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Don't know if it had anything to do with the drinking drugs. It definitely didn't help the matter.
Aye.
You know what I mean? And then at that time when I was diagnosed with Crohn's again, I was going, oh, here we go again. You know what I mean? Another incurable illness, like, you know what I mean? So, was kind of still messing about. And then I you know what I mean, everything just kind of fell domino effect then, you know what I mean?
Aye, and I'm assuming you're sober now then, so
Oh yeah.
you had to go sober. And what process did you take? Everyone goes different steps, different angles. Some does it themselves, some...
Call it divine intervention or something like that, you know what I mean? I don't know if you're a spiritual mind yourself, like, you know what I mean? But just one day I just woke up and said, enough's enough here.
And that worked?
That worked, like, you know what I mean? It didn't completely work, like, you know what I mean? There were still a lot of issues in there, like, you know what I mean? But I just, you know what I mean? I was like, this is no way to love either, like, you know what I mean? This is...
So you woke up one day and just said, I'm done with it all. And it was that easy for you?
Well,
or did you have to go and speak to someone then about the problems in your head?
I know, because I went to counselling and stuff. I went up to Zest and all that, you know what I mean? That wasn't long sessions that I had, you know what I mean? But the guidance that I was given at the time, you know, helped. And just by a twist of fate, you know what I mean, not long after I had started coming off my stuff and kind of getting me act together and getting to the gym and stuff like that. My mum had taken me up there. But it was like another gala, funny enough. And I had met a boy called James McGrath and Stephen Getty. I don't know if any of these boys have ever heard of them.
No, who are they?
Stephen Getty's a tattoo artist. Very cool guy, so he is. Stephen's also had a hard life himself too as well, and he's making great stuff happen for himself now in life, you know what I mean, with his tattoo career and stuff like that. And James is also a singer. But
James
McGrath. But he's also a motivational speaker also too as well. And
are they local or are they just...
No, they're up for like Armagh direction and stuff like that. But the gala was the Heart of Gold Awards, that's what it was called. Had nothing to do with me or anything like that. His mum was like, you should come to this.
Meet different people.
It was all inspirational people, like, you know what I mean? It was attending that stuff, like, you know what I mean? But one thing got to another, I got chatting to James, and James was talking to me about stuff, you know what I mean? And
was this while you were still drinking and taking drugs? Or
no,
this was the process after you woke up?
Yeah.
Right.
So this was literally, you know, but, you know, you ever get that where you come on the word and you feel like you're meant for something? You know what I mean? I always had that feeling about me, you know what I mean? But I didn't know what I was ever meant for.
And what now do you believe you're meant for? Do you believe this is your mission now?
I believe I'm here to help a lot of people, and especially people that's gone through the same type of thing that I have.
Stuff you can personally talk to them about?
Yes.
Well, it is. Well, what is Team Hope? Who is that helping? Is that just cancer patients, or are you going for anyone?
We're going for anybody
that needs help.
Anybody. Like, I mean, literally, you just message us on Facebook, TikTok, and you have a problem, like, you know what I mean, and you feel like you're lost in life, like the way I was, because that's the way I always felt. That I fell off the path constantly, you know what I mean. Every time I tried to get myself back up, there was, well, I would say, I can't say something, because everything was my fault that I was doing it anyway. Like, you know what I mean?
Self-sabotage.
Well, exactly. You know what I mean? It was a self-pity party that I was actually having for myself a lot of the times. Like, you know what I mean? And I was being selfish. But that's what we're trying to do. Like, you know what I mean? Anybody feels like they're on the unbeaten path.
Where can people reach out to Team Hope?
You can reach on us on our Facebook page, or TikTok, or Instagram.
They're just under Team Hope.
Just Team Hope, and look for the badge. Look for the logo.
The wee badge here. But so you're taking on all walks of life, but I hear your fitness seems to be your big thing at the minute.
Definitely, that is what helped me. Like, I came across David Goggins there 2 years ago because, like I said, I was still living a life of what I would say pointless living, where I was just sitting around feeling sorry for myself because I was diagnosed with spondylitis, not, you know what I mean, a couple of years ago too as well.
Spondylitis, never heard of that.
It's arthritis in the spine, so it's between my pelvis and my spine, the end of my spine, but that's obviously because of all the chemotherapy.
That's what I was just going to ask.
So the chemo left its damage and stuff like that. So I mean, and I was kind of walking around like a big baby, going like, you know, life isn't fair to me, you know what I mean? And I just hit this word type of shit, you know what I mean? But like I said, I was still sitting around doing nothing, like, you know what I mean? I was given the gift of 2 beautiful children, which I should have never had. That's why, you know what I mean? I got that tattooed. It was actually Stephen that done that for me. Miracles do happen. because they told me that I would never ever have children, and that was
Because the chemo was...
because they said, like, you know, it's never going to happen. Like, you've had that much that you're probably completely sterile. Like,
But I wonder, did you have the chemo before them 10 years where testosterone would have built up and stuff anyway? So
that's what I'm saying.
Couldn't have wrecked it because it wasn't even there yet, maybe,
Yeah,
I wonder. Was that...
I don't know, because I remember at the time they said, you remember I was saying to you about, you know, the council and stuff and all, and like she said, like, you know, we can give you a test. They find out, but I was only 15 years old anyway. You know what I mean? I really didn't.
That's
I didn't care. I was like, no, I'm out of here. Like, you know what I mean?
So they wanted to do all that at 15. They wanted to kind of look at all that.
You know what I mean?
15-year-olds planning their life ahead.
Exactly.
Well, children life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know, here's a great message for you, you know what I mean? You've just beat cancer for the second time, you know what I mean? But hey, you're going to need counselling, and do you want to get a test done to see if you are sterile and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And no 15-year-old in the right mind's going to be turning around and going, like, you know what I mean? Let's do it, you know what I mean?
Let's get me out of the hospitals, more what you're thinking as well.
Yeah, exactly. So,
see having your children, what age?
I had my kids, my first kid, I had a lock-on at 25 years old.
So 5, 6 now then?
Yeah, he'll be 5 now in October.
And what about your other one?
Layla, we had her then 18 months later.
Aye.
So she'll be 4 now in March.
So you think, right, the age your older boy is, you've already went through and just started your second thing of chemo.
Yeah.
You sitting thinking now and looking at him and thinking that was the age, or no, sorry, it was just your first, your second wasn't, they say. But you looking at him and knowing that at that age you already would have been past your first kind of thing.
Yeah, even when he was like, you know, he kind of hit the 2 mark, like, you know what I mean? That
what you're thinking, that's
you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That anxiety was always still there. Oh, will always probably still be there, like, you know what I mean? Because you're always still constantly.
But when that anxiety's in the head, are you thinking, what was my mother thinking? What was in her head? Because it's only in your head as a thought. It was in your mother's head as a, this has happened, this is happening.
Yeah.
So what kind of thoughts would be going through her head?
Yeah.
Is my thinking. It's
exactly, and you know what? My mother is a legend, man. Hey,
still living?
Oh, of course, she is. She's alive and kicking and well too, as well. Like, and mum was training at the gym actually too, as well. Mum was actually one of my first clients last year.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? I'm not a qualified PT yet, but you know what I mean. I knew by training myself and what I put myself through on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Because mum obviously would have had her own, you know, depressions and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because obviously she endured it, you know what I mean, just as much as I did. You know what I mean? And she probably seen a lot more than I can even remember too, as well, also. So it affected her, plus then too as well, that, you know, crap that I did give her too as well when I was going through my bad patch in life. You know what I mean?
But right, so someone reaches out to you and they have a problem. What's your step? Is your step to try and move them into training? Are you a counsellor of any kind?
Nope.
Just life experience.
I'm a counsellor of life. Like,
you know, life experience, more or less. And sometimes that's the one you need.
Yes.
You don't need some boy with an education or whatever.
Sitting down with a notepad. Literally what I'm offering, mate, is like a one-day-one chit chat and just say, you know what, why don't we go to a gym, you know what I mean?
Let's get a coffee, go run.
You know what I mean? Let's do something, you know what I mean? And then, you know, you find out about the person, you know what I mean? Try and see what their goal oriented are, like, you know what I mean? What do you want to do short-term business? What do you want to do long-term business? You know what I mean? So when you're like that, you know what I mean? When you're like that, you don't seem that you want to do anything, you know what I mean? But always somebody's meant here to do something on this planet, you know what I mean? So...
And is this only being offered to people local, or does it matter if they message you? You'll message back and forward as well.
Definitely. Like, if anybody wants even just to have a chit chat, you know what I mean?
You're there to talk to.
100%. You know what I mean? We'll turn our back on no one. Like.
So, you started running, did you say, last year? Is that when this kind of Team Hope started?
That's what I was saying to you, mate, then, that... like, you know, I had everything I wanted, you know what I mean? I had my partner, I had my kids, you know what I mean? I had a home over my head, you know what I mean? I had a lot to be thankful for. But yet I still felt like, you know, I had that missing link, you know what I mean? That, you know, that same message kept coming up, like, you know, you're meant for more, like, you know what I mean? You should be doing more. But, you know, I was sitting going, like, because I always wanted to be in the military and stuff like that, but because of my disabilities then, you know what I mean? The military...
Was out the window,
you know what I mean? But that's what I always wanted to be, like, you know what I mean? First I was a fireman when I was a kid, and then I always wanted to be a naval aviator, like Top Gun type of stuff. You know what I mean? That was my ideal thing. Like,
Aye.
and then I was like, no, you know what I mean? I'll go into special forces type stuff. You know what I mean? Like the Irish Army Regiment and stuff like that. But
Do you ever try and attempt to go on, even though?
I did try, but because of the arthritis in the spine, it was just an automatic. Like, no.
No, they should.
It's just like, no,
laughed
mate.
you out the door.
That is not happening.
See you later.
You know what I mean? So it was always a knockdown after a knockdown, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, well, what?
But then you're talking about Goggins. Was he not knocked down about 10 different, 20 different times for trying to get on? What was it? Was it the Navy when it was
the Navy SEALs.
the SEALs? It was the SEALs, wasn't
They
it?
kept on telling him, no, you know what I mean? And, you know, they had like so many months, they dropped, you know what I mean, so many pounds, like.
What was the one? They make the ultra marathon where he had a run 24 hours or 100 miles in 24 hours because he didn't keep running. Did it 24 hours? He had to do it twice in the month or something.
Man, was
nuts.
Mate, you know what I mean?
And does these kind of things be in your head now when you're running? Let's say you started running last year.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts of running? What's positive?
Positive and negative, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I do a lot of, you know, bit myself up, like, you know what I mean? You can do better and stuff, like, you know what I mean? I'm always trying to push myself, you know what I mean? What goes on my head when I'm running, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like very brutal.
Here you are. So the running, you started the running last year.
Yep.
First half last year was the waterside half, did you tell me?
Yes, it was.
Aye. What, did you go for times? Did you?
Well, I actually set myself 2.5 hours. Because I had never actually ran anything more than the 15k, like, so I was over 2.5 hours up in a nice wee sweet spot, like, you know what I mean? I ended up completing it in 2 hours 22 minutes.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? So it actually bit me goal.
What was your training like coming up there?
10 mile every day.
10 mile every day?
Every day. 5 in the morning, got up, 10 mile every day.
Just 10 mile back to back every day?
Every day.
Not like 2 mile throughout the day every couple of hours?
10 mile every day.
What's the hardest challenge you done? What's the hardest run you done?
The hardest one I actually done there was we done Antrim Coast half there a couple of weeks ago because that was all part of their fundraising and stuff. Like, I know what I mean. They run half marathons along with doing hard as oak too as well. We've done that this year also and done it last year.
I don't ever fancy. I don't know anyone I know it's done hard of folks injured themselves bad.
Mate, you gotta do it. My mum.
No interest. They don't swim or nothing.
It doesn't matter. My partner doesn't swim. My partner is also like she's also one of my clients too as well. Basically because during our training for hard as oak, not this year, but last year when we were doing our fundraising too as well, she could not swim. She had a fear of water. She was no way athletically inclined and like done anything by sports at all. Now, she went to the gym twice a day with me and then we would have ran. I taught her how to swim in 3 weeks. But she still swims like a rock now, she'll tell you herself, man. She like literally she jump along bubbles.
I've took swimming lessons there recently and I'm still learning how to swim.
But she done the cliff jump and all, man. Like she done think twice.
You couldn't talk me into hard as oak. I done one of them down under something like that down. It was what do I call it? Jungle NI.
Jungle NI Rampage. You do Rampage?
I done the Rampage one.
I've never done Rampage yet.
It was pretty good, but the only thing I didn't do at the end was the whole big slide. But everyone that came off it had a rock at the bottom, so they came off it and splashed in, and every one of them had a sore tailbone later on. It was a stag I done it for, or probably wouldn't have done it.
No.
But no, it was it's just not for me. No, I don't mind running. I've done the running. Me and PT Pat in the background there.
Yeah.
Me and him, we done 4 full marathons in a year and a half.
Amazing.
We done 3 of them in a year, and it was just they do something different. It was just, and we're planning to do an ultra, but we don't have nothing in stone as of yet. But what about yourself? Would you ever do a full marathon? Many halves have you done now so far?
Now this Sunday we're doing Waterside and that'll be my 4th.
Your 4th half?
Yeah, my 4th.
And will you move up to a full?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, you know, after reading Goggins and doing all the training even from last year alone, like I was actually trying to organise my own. Derry's actually first ultra, so it was. No, I've never even ran.
Derry already had an ultra there a few weeks ago.
I know, but this was.
We actually ran.
This was last year, and actually I met up with a complex, and I was actually planning it then, but it fell through because there was a lot of money to get the stuff up and running. Like I think I was biting off more than I could chew. You know what I mean?
Did you? I never seen you there, but I probably wouldn't have knew you then. But did you jump on with that ultra in there?
No, I
The
didn't.
backyard ultra, so that's different. The backyard ultras where you're running on now or every hour.
Oh no,
This one
definitely.
was 4.2 mile on
Oh,
now
and
or
it was
every hour.
it was amazing. It was from the Northern Centre too.
Northern Centre.
Great colours
Me
too
and
as well, mate.
me and Paddy it again. I done 21 mile of it, and I think he done 25.
Amazing.
So he
man.
done
well
one more extra than me. He was just well petty like that.
Aye, well done, bro.
But no, it was good crack. But we're running this one too on Sunday as well.
Amazing, man.
Uh,
Well, look forward to seeing
he hasn't
you.
got it booked. He's booked under a woman's name.
Because a friend of mine too as well. He's also helping us raise money for the children's cancer unit too as well. He's just signed up this first half too as well. And he's doing it with us on Sunday.
Is
also.
he? And is he a runner at all? Has he ever ran, or is he going to?
Bits and pieces. He done Heart of Oak Waste too as well. There was actually a whole team. I think there was 13 years that done Heart of Oak this year. All they raised
Did
money
you?
for the
How
community.
much did you raise doing Hard as Oak?
We raised £1,006. Our goal from January this year was 4,000, and this is the reason now that we've started up the gala also.
And what is this gala then? What's?
Well, so basically the gala is a black tie event. We have 60 raffle prizes.
I seen someone's great. What are they? What I see the car, the sports car is it?
No, that's our auction now because we have our raffle on the night. Also, which is probably before the auction. Now we've about 60 prizes there, and it's family fun days. We have tickets for somebody to pick whatever Belfast Giants game they want to go to. We have Celtic had given us 4 passes to tour their stadium. There's, did I say family fun days?
Aye.
I did. Family fun days, massage treatments, nails, anything that you can think of. There's something for everybody in this raffle.
And is this for the raffle iron? What's the auction? What's on the auction?
So the auction, we have a Man United jersey signed. Everton has actually gotten back to us this week and said that they're also sending over a signed item. We don't know what it is yet, but we'll soon find out. We have a helicopter ride. It's just out in England Airport.
That,
good crack.
Looks class.
We were also given a ticket. Now they had said this, we could have used it as a fundraising opportunity for next year, or we could just give it, give it to someone. So we were putting that under the raffle.
What's that for tickets for?
It's for an upside down Ebrington, not Ebrington, sorry. Europa Hotel next year.
Europa, where's Europa again?
Belfast.
That's Belfast, isn't it? So, what's that? Do they do that once a year? The abs?
Oh, they did it a couple of times. There's actually one coming up now for the Northern Ireland Air Albums also too as well. They're doing it. Like it's sometime in September. I think it's happening. But the Children's Cancer Unit do it. It's actually something that they actually do quite frequently.
Have you ever done an ab sale?
With the school, when we were in secondary school, I think it was out in Roe Valley or something like that. But I'll try my hand at anything. Like I've done I've skydived and everything. Like.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
No, I've never. No, I've been tried to be talked into that as well.
Go for it, man. Go for it. You only live once, like, you know what I mean?
The skydive with me, if it was an impulse decision, I would do it last minute.
Yes.
I couldn't sit and plan it and think, oh, it's happening this day, it's happening this day.
Yeah.
Bungee jump, never do.
I don't think I could trust every tiny rope.
I wouldn't go head first and the ground for anyone.
It's just like one line, man. It's just that you don't want that to be your last sight, you know what I mean? It's just ground, lights out.
Do it towards the water, I suppose, but then I can't swim, so I'm no good there neither.
No, you don't want to just be blowing bubbles either, do you?
But that gala, what did you say it was?
The gala's the 3rd of October, mate.
And it's over in Ebrington Hotel?
Yeah.
Tickets, where do you get them?
Tickets through the Team Hope page, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Team Hope page, Facebook.
On the night?
No, sadly tickets have to be sold by the 24th of September because we have to give the hotel notice of how many guests we're expecting and they need to cater for them. So
right.
We would have loved to have been doing something like that.
So by the 24th of September.
See if it was
and what is it? What's that included? That's a meal as well, 3-course.
Oh yeah, so the tickets are £50 per person, and upon arrival you get your drinks reception, and then you get your 3-course meal. And then now that will come to $46.50, and then the $8.50 that we've added on to it is going towards the Children's Cancer Unit. So basically, you're literally just paying for your meal and your
a donation,
and then a small donation. Then
similar to a wedding, but you're not looking at a fucking bride and groom.
Yes, basically. And so our final auction prize then was from Supercar Experience too as well. We get to pick 2 supercars from their menu, and they take you a good lap around this racetrack that they have up around there somewhere.
Where's that? Is that the one down beside Junction 1, is it?
I think
Down
so,
that
yep.
direction, in Antrim?
Yep.
I think there is one down there. I don't know if that's the exact one that you put.
I think it is, yep.
There's one down there in Antrim. I've never done it, but I've heard a few people done it, and it's
Yep.
very good apparently. But
But an experience like not everybody can, you know what I mean? We love experience days, you know what I mean? Because it's not like everybody, you know what I mean, has the opportunity to do stuff like that, or even say that they've sat in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. So
or a GTR.
exactly, or a GTR, mate. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? It's we're all about, you know what I mean, trying to give people the opportunities that they might never have either. Like, you know what I mean?
And that's just to help. This is all going towards us.
It's all going towards the children's cancer unit, but like we would like to, you know what I mean? We would hope, you know what I mean, that this is going to get our name out there too as well. And we would like to, you know, go further afield, you know what I mean, and like start actually.
What is the dream for it?
My dream now, and this is off just what I have in my head, is my own personal gym.
Yeah.
And my gym is going to be non-profit. We're going to rely on charity funds and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it's literally just going to go and help people, because not everybody can afford a gym now at this day and age, you know what I mean?
£30-40 a month now isn't
exactly
easy found.
Exactly, mate, you know what I mean? So it's all going to be, you know, getting them in, you know what I mean? If the gyms are fun, like, you know what I mean? Getting them in free sports therapy, because sports therapy work for me, work for my partner, work for my mum.
So you want your own gym and you want to just push people through the fitness sides of things.
Yeah, but it's not just about that, you know, it's about coming and enjoying the experience, you know what I mean? Just having a chit chat, you know what I mean? Not even really, you know what I mean, going to it, just sitting, you know what I mean? Just
getting out of the house, having a purpose to get out of the house, and a reason to go somewhere.
Have somebody to work out with, like, you know what I mean? Like what I'm saying is one of our staff members, you know what I mean? Sitting having a chit chat, and I mean, working out, make it as homely as possible, but you're also fixing a lot up here as well as your physical too as well.
100%.
And once you know when you start working on your physical abilities and your health, you know what I mean, up here starts feeling a wee bit better. And when that feels a wee bit better, you're able to work deeper on it. You know what I mean? And then, like, you know, we'll obviously have people like myself, you know what I mean, telling our own journeys and how
just shoulder to shoulder chatting, just plain and simple.
Just down to earth, you know what I mean? Just trying to help people, and you know what I mean? Hopefully people, you know what I mean, would like to open up this, you know what I mean, and say, well, I would love to do this someday, you know what I mean? And us going, well, what can we do to help that?
How can we push you forward to that goal?
Yeah.
And were you saying are you looking to do the full marathon then?
Well, we're going for Egypt, but current climates in the world, like, you know what I mean, I don't think it was the safest decision to go, like, you know what I mean, but we're all about doing Belfast now next year as well.
Do Dublin.
Yeah.
Dublin is, we done 4, we done Dublin, Budapest, Edinburgh and Belfast. Belfast was good.
Yep.
It was very hilly, but very, very hilly.
I like a challenge.
That's still a challenge. They're all a challenge. 26 miles is always going to be a challenge.
I believe it.
You want a challenge? Do Edinburgh? Edinburgh, 15 mile under was a 5 mile mountain you were running up.
Oh, amazing!
So there you are. If that's what you want,
because
I was listening to David Goggins there for 5 miles. Put it that way, actually was and getting deep. I didn't let the hull bit me on the way up. I refused to stop on the way up, but it blew myself out and had to walk down it. You had to go up and look round and come back down it.
But did you finish?
Aye.
Well, that's the main thing, like, you know what I mean?
That's a thing.
You set yourself a goal and you finished it, and that's where you progress.
Dublin was the best marathon we done, simply because every couple of mile there was stages. Every 4 mile, I think it was.
Yep.
There was a stage set up at every 4 mile. There was bands playing. There was people there. It was pushing you on. But then I found any other ones, you do go into a lonely, dark place at times.
Yeah.
Edinburgh on that hill, Belfast on every hill, Budapest. There was a long stretch that you were just looking at and there was nobody about. So Dublin, you didn't have none of that. You were pushed and pumped and everything. It was probably the best marathon we done.
Because we found that way on Antrim coast, because that was literally a long stretch out of coastline, like, and that was.
But that, you says you done Derry half last year, the Waterside half, sorry. That one very good for support too.
Oh,
Very good.
brilliant,
The
man.
people that comes out there.
Great
there's
course
not-
too as well. Apparently the older course wasn't as good, like, you know what I mean? But this one seems to be an
I
improvement.
like the older one too. I think I've done it 4 times or something, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
I think. I always get mixed up between that and the Bentley 10 miler. They're more or less the same.
I've
route.
never done that. A couple of times I've went to enter and it, and the tickets have been gone, and
goes
it's
wild quick, so it does. But
does.
it's more or less the half marathon. But the only thing you're cutting out is Strathfoyle and the extra wee bit the old bridge.
Yeah.
That's simple. And you're starting at the track in Foyle Arena instead of Ebrington.
right.
You actually start and end at the track.
So we're usually where the foil hospice walk and run would usually end on the wrist track, isn't
I
it?
think it is. Aye. So
No.
you're starting and finishing there in the Bentley one, and it is pretty good. But best half I ever done, I can't remember. What's your favourite?
Have you ever done Strabane Lifford?
Oh, 3 times I think I've done that.
What do you think? Ah,
2 or 3?
Did you do this year's?
No.
This year?
Last year. We done 2 years ago, and it worked out. It was the hottest day of the year.
Yeah.
And the sun was in the sky. There was people at 12 and 13 mile literally fainting.
Yeah.
They had to put on an extra water stop. They had to have people out with hoses, holding the hoses for
Yeah,
people.
because that's the way it was
the
this year. It was
hottest day of the year.
25-degree heat that we were doing it on too as well.
I think it might have been the same. The only thing that helped us is it was a year we ran Dublin Marathon, but that was part of our training. So we were already well ahead of 13 mile.
Yeah.
And
So it
a
should have
couple
been
of days
wee buns.
before it, we done Mario and Luigi, me and Paddy, and obviously I was Luigi, I'm tall. I was the wee fat plumber, and he was the tall, skinny one. But
Good.
so we ran as Mario and Luigi, and because we were in the costume,
Yep.
it
Didn't help
sweated
matters.
us out. So then by the time we were running it, it was warm.
Yep.
There was sun, but we didn't really feel too hot because we were running all that week or 2 weeks
You'd already
before in costumes.
adapted it then.
We've adapted it in by an accident. And Cornwall, we went to Cornwall. He's right not there, right? So we went to Cornwall, and on Cornwall, we done a trail run. Have you ever done a trail run?
Trail run, no.
No, trail runs are different. So they're like a half, but they're a halfway challenge.
Yep.
So we went to Cornwall, and we had everything booked, but there was a storm hitting because it's along the coast.
Yep.
There was a storm hitting, and they had to call the whole thing off.
Right.
But they says if you do 13 mile in your area or area or over that space of the week or 2, they'll still send out the medals or whatever. So we were already booked for Cornwall, and we went over and we says, you know what, we'll go and run the track.
Yep.
And we went over, and on a storm we ran it. The first, I think, couple 100 yards, Paddy was wearing a hat, and the next minute his hat blew off and straight in the water. It was that windy, his hat, they never got it back. And I think we might have been hungover. I think we were out the night before at 3 in the morning, and we got lost following their map.
Yep.
So it turned out a 15-mile trail run through the beach. So I ended up, that was probably one of the toughest ones
Yep.
as a half that we've ever done, but it was
No, I would
class.
definitely like to do a trail run like that. I think the hardest challenge I've given myself this year was a part of our fundraising, me and the team. I hiked Stairway to Heaven with 20 kg in a backpack. And then a couple of weeks later, and we also done Erical with it.
Erical's class. I like Erical, but I like that the old way. I don't like it with a path.
Yep. I never done it with the old way. It was actually the first time I've done either. Like, I've never done hikes before, and I just kind of set myself the goal as like, you know, let's stuff this way as much weight as I can in a backpack and climb this fucker.
So what's the Stairway to Heaven? I think that's 7 mile, is it? Is it 7 up, 7 down, or is it 7 in total?
I think you might be right. I think it is
7 in total. And what were you wearing
I was just wearing a pair of combats, pair of boots, and an army rucksack with 20 kg of stuff on it.
Aye. How'd you find that?
Oh, tough, man.
Was it tough?
Aye. I found Erical tougher. I got halfway up Erical, and I got the fuzzy lights and all, and the eyes and stuff
They
like
reckon
that.
that. Some people get that. I don't actually with altitude. With the breathing and stuff like that there. We done Erical. We done Erical when we probably shouldn't have. It was snowing, icy, and you couldn't have thought of a worse day.
It was the same
when you looked out.
It was raining. It was rain was bouncing off the ground.
I rang 2 mates, and when we were driving there, the car was just sliding there. It wasn't driving; it was just pure ice.
Yeah.
And we went up, and we were going through like a blizzard storm.
Yeah.
Up at top, I think the winds up at top was minus 20 something. minus low 20s. So we decided to
You'd be fresh
strap
fish
off.
anyway by the time you came down
We
anyway.
strapped off at the top of Erical in our shorts and took selfies with no tops on, no
Go for it,
t-shirts
man.
on or nothing. And even as much as one of the cans of Coke the boys open, it was solid.
Serious?
Solid, it was good crack.
If I'm I need to jump on with you boys.
That's fine, no bother.
He's have some
The next
experiences.
adventure we'll get you on it.
Definitely.
When isn't it? Well, the next one's this half. I haven't trained for this half. Last run I think I had done was Belfast
You'll
Marathon.
do amazing.
I'm a
man.
liar. I done the 21 mile for thing, but that was kind of different training when you're ultra training.
Yep.
Would you ever do an ultra?
Oh, 100%. I would love to do an ultra.
You know, running halves and fulls is different training for.
Oh, I 100%.
Aye,
I know.
as soon as you see a hill, you have to walk
Oh,
on an ultra.
Oh, I know.
There's one I tried to get the boy that I run with over there, PT Pat Andy, with me, and he wouldn't do it. And it was the Belfast area they call it, the 75 mile ultra.
Do you know what? I was looking on there too as well. I don't know why you didn't enter on there. I was looking on there too as well. It really intrigued me.
I like a look at it, but the only way that I'm getting Paddy to do one, I was told with me, is if it's foreign and it's a nice place.
I'll do one me.
Let's go.
Let's go, bro.
When are we booking it? Would you not have done that Donegal triathlon or not quadrathon? Sorry, Donegal.
Quadrathon, I seen
I
that.
think this was the last year they put it on.
Is it?
Someone told me that they're not doing it next year.
Don't
so
tell me
halves
because I only discovered it when the day they finished it.
it was only last 2 weekends ago.
It was?
Aye.
I only discovered it the day it ended, and I was reading it.
There's a part in it, right? And I just get a great laugh at it. And it's the second day or third day. You walk an alpaca for 5 mile.
Seriously?
That's for a charity.
Seriously?
You pay €10 to walk an alpaca for alpaca.
And this is a part of the marathon? Like?
This is a part of your marathon or half marathon, whatever you choose to do. I think you can do the 4 halves or 4 fulls. The only difference is the 4 halves. Do you ever see the medals for them?
Oh, they're huge.
Class. I know it's 4 medals and they sit together as a trophy.
All right.
So you have to
I
stack
thought
them.
it was actually just one by on the
No. Each medal is part of your trophy.
Aye.
So they are an individual medal, but they click onto each other.
Oh, right.
If you've done the 4. And the only difference between the half and the full is in the half, it's 4 silver medals. And
Right.
on the full, it's 4 gold.
Right.
So you finish with a gold trophy or
Well, don't
silver.
be sending me it's over, Max. I only discovered it. Like I said, the day it was
So-
over, and I would love to jump on there. Like.
Would you rather go foreign for an ultra or local?
I'll do anything. I'm game for anything, mate.
Okay.
I really am. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, what do you say? Would you not try and enter Dublin Marathon this year if you really want to be game for anything?
When is it?
It's not always in around Halloween
Is
weekend.
it?
It's always in around Halloween weekend, so it hasn't happened yet. And if you contact them, November, Pat? November? I thought it was October, the Dublin.
November.
Was it? I thought it was before. Was it? Maybe it was after. Maybe it's November then. Sorry.
Well, if it's November, happy days. Like.
Dublin Marathon's in November, and you'd have plenty of time if you're doing a half comfortable now. October 26th. Dublin Marathon's on October 26th. But
If there's entries, definitely, mate.
there's probably not entries, but if you go through charities or tell them that you're doing it for your charity,
Right.
normally that's the way they go with them. They might be able to get you a spot and they may not, but it's definitely
You'll probably too, so I suppose, like if you look on the likes of Facebook and all too, as well, you'll have people, dropping out. Because I found that a while out with Derry this year alone. Like, there seems to be a while lot of people, you know what I mean, not having the tickets up for sale now.
there's always all marathons has people don't realise marathons sell out.
I know.
People
Derry
don't
went well
realise
quick
it
this year,
until
didn't
they
they?
run the half that go wild fast. And this year's different. They've put on more spaces this year, and they're doing 2.
Isn't that a part of some athletics association or something this year? There's something about it.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's something to do with athletics.
I
Something.
know. Is it normally foil hospice? I think, including relay this year, there was 3,600,
Oh, there'll be some turnout
spots.
for it, like.
and it's there's 2 waves, isn't there?
Yep.
This is the first year they've ever
Yeah,
done it in waves. This is
they've the under 2 hours and then the 2 hours, 2 hours and above. Like.
There's a trick. We done it in Dublin. Me and Paddy put ourselves in as if we were professional athletes. So we were in wave 1
Really?
in Dublin at the very front. And if you stay at the back of the pack of the front, again, it gives you your own space for a brave while. if
Oh,
that
yeah.
makes sense. So
Oh,
if you're
definitely.
staying at the back of the pack from all these fast boys, they're going to run on. The people behind you's not going for another 10 minutes.
Yep.
So you have that space to yourself.
So what do you
you're not
reckon? You
pushing
reckon
and
you've
banging
invented
into each other.
the marathon hack in?
Because if you're putting yourself on for a 4.5 hour and you're going to injure yourself and do 5.5 hours, you're coming in last. Like, you don't want to do that.
Because like
Do 4.5 at
last
the
year
start.
was my first ever half, and I put myself kind of up near the front, but way from the back anyway. But I was more than up the front than anything, and I was like, I'm way out of my league here.
You're meant to be in
I
your
was
league.
allowed to like tuck off, man. And by the time I left Ebrington, they were already at the Craigavon Bridge.
That's the kind of things that happen. You have to do that. But no, running, is that the only kind of fitness thing you're into at the minute, or?
No, running and gymming, man.
Gym?
That's what I was trying to say. I wasn't just doing the 10 mile a day too as well. I was going to the gym twice a day. And it was a perfect combination because, like I said, my mum and Karen, which is my partner, were my two first ever clients. So I would have trained mum in the morning, and then I would have literally went home, got my lunch, and then went and trained Karen.
So
we trained together. Like every time they trained, I trained with them.
10 mile a day. How many days did that go on for?
Every day, mate.
Still going on?
Yeah.
So you're doing 10 mile a day still?
Yeah. If I was to stop it, man, I think I would, I would go nuts.
So you're doing 10 mile a day since when did you start?
Last year.
Every single day, 10 mile.
Yeah, man, you come immune to it, like.
Same route, different route.
Same route.
Oh no, don't tell me that.
Aye, same route.
Don't tell me that. Why?
Where?
Why first? I want to know why.
Why? Because.
Why the same route?
I don't know.
Me and Paddy, I take different routes, and I take different routes on the different routes, and I just like getting lost and winging things.
Yeah.
I don't have a route set out. It's either my day they plan or his day they plan, and my day never goes to plan. So we went down one day. I think we had to do a big run. I think we were hitting between 15 and 18 mile.
Yeah.
And we left Bridge End, and our aim was one of the garages in Bridge End. We parked. We went down towards where E&I Engineering is.
Yeah.
Right, and down that slab road down the back.
Right.
And down that slab road, we didn't realise that there's no hard shoulder or no nothing. And there was a car tried to overtake a lorry and nearly went head on another lorry. So the lorry had to steer in, nearly put us off the road running. So it was very dodgy. But Inch Island would have been our run to do, and it's the only run that we ever really repeated, to be fair. And our thing was before a marathon, we had to run Inch 3 times, which was 18, 19, 18 or 19 miles.
Nice run too.
Nice run. It's a really nice
Never ran it, but I've walked it, like, and it's gorgeous.
It's what, six odd mile or something like that there, and it's definitely
stunning, like.
It's different. You're running through forestry, and you're running through water, and then you're running through grass. Just it all looks different. Yeah. 4 parts of it look different, so it's great.
Good for the ankles too as well. You get the different types of terrain and stuff like that. They get the ankles strengthened up and stuff.
Was there ever a day you missed?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like I've had my days, you know what I mean? You get the cold or flu, like, you know what I mean?
But what you're thinking? Do you think do you feel guilty for missing?
Oh yes, 100%. Like, you know what I mean? I start going into panic mode. You know what I mean? Going like, am I going to start procrastinating? And am I going to fall into my old ways where I kind of sit and do nothing?
Well, what's your longest run? What was
my longest run? Right, that's an interesting one. You said that now. My longest run is 20 mile, because in November, me and my partner, we lost a wee baby. She was 3 months pregnant. And in December, she had signed up to the Sands charity. They do, I think it was 28 mile. So it was, but she had taken sick and with sepsis and ended up in the hospital, and she was really beating herself up, and I think she had only a couple of days left and she couldn't do it. So I was literally on the shower, and I had this mad notion. I was I'm running this 28 tomorrow. And I went up to Asda that day, and I got protein bars, gels, you name it, like, you know what I mean? I just filled up a backpack and set off my way. Now, I didn't make the 28, but I got 20. Like, I mean, like, I think the furthest I've ever ran by a half marathon was 13 miles, like, so it was an extra 7. You know what I mean? 7 miles on top of that. But I think by mile 16, like, the legs were giving up, the feet was hurting, all that type of stuff, you know what I mean? But I was like, it's 20 or nothing. But that's the furthest I've ever ran.
See, See if you ever want a tough challenge and you says you want a hard run.
Yes.
The hardest run that I've ever done, including the marathons, including one of the things that I done is from the David Goggins books. I done the 4-4 for 48.
Life on, man, have you done that?
Oh, I've done it.
How do you think it? It's always something I've wanted to do.
It's on the head. It was mentally draining, but it was grand. But I've done a run harder than that.
Right.
And it's a Donegal 3-quarter challenge.
Right.
It is the toughest run. It's actually on next month, I think it is on. And it's for people that's running Dublin Marathon.
Right.
And if you're able to do this, you'll do Dublin.
Yes.
This thing was the toughest. It was like a 20-mile trail run.
Right.
And I just felt fucked. I mean, I don't know what it was. You were running through mountains, you were running up hills, you were running. We had Dublin to do, was it 3 weeks after? Then that was meant to be your kind of peak before Dublin.
Yep.
And it was soul destroying. So if you ever want to do a tough run, that is the run to do. It's tough.
Well, definitely.
But as you say about the 4-4 for 48, that was grand, believe it or not. That was me and another man, Tony Aker.
Right.
You know Tony?
No.
No, he's been from Cairn Hill direction. But me and him, we took a notion. I brought it up to him one day after reading the Goggins book, and he turned round and I says, I want to do that. And he says, I'd be game to do it. I says, right, next weekend. So there was no planning.
Yep.
So he says, no bother. He says, he'll get it off work. I says, I'll get it off work. And we both did. And we started, I think we started at 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
So 10 to 6. And it was only the next morning at 2 in the morning I found tough. And it was actually inch weed on. And it was just when I should have been sleeping kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because it's not all about, you know, the actual run. It's all about your recovery in between too as well. Like, you know, I mean, that can be your biggest fall. Like,
it was just in the head. So it wasn't as tough as you'd think.
Yeah.
Wasn't as tough as you'd think. Tony, he went on, this was part of his training, he wanted to run from Derry to Dublin.
Right.
And he injured himself. But even though he was injured, he still ran it, but he had to do it as a relay team. So him, his son, his 2 brothers done it then.
Was that Phil doing that for charity? It's charity too as well?
He wasn't doing it for charity. He didn't want no money, didn't want no sponsorship. He just wanted to spread awareness for a charity. It had nothing to do with funding for a charity.
I actually met him last year during our fundraising when we were sitting in Northside selling Rafa tickets.
Aye.
It was last year you done it, was it?
It was.
Yeah, I met him briefly for a time and he was telling me all about it. Like, and even that man telling me that alone, like, I was like, well, you're an inspiration here, mate.
He wrecked his hip. He can't no longer run, believe it or not.
Seriously?
He ran. It was...
Because he was telling me he done Strabane on Ufford, sorry, Phil. And he ran home.
No, he ran 2 Strabane. He ran the half and then he ran home.
Aye.
That's what wrecked us up.
Serious?
I was meant to do that with him and I ended up booking... What did I book? I booked a marathon. What was it? I think Budapest. I booked Budapest. So I was meant to run 2 Strabane, round Strabane and run home with him.
Yeah.
And I had to pull out and I says, Tony, sorry, I had to pull out because I ended up booking Budapest Marathon and that was a week or 2 after and I says, I don't want to wreck myself. And he says, no, it's grand or whatever. So he went ahead and done it. So we met him up in Strabane and stuff like that there and done a wee bit of a run with him. But I ran when he was doing that Dublin one, so I started with him. I think a pile of people started with him. We all started at the Peace Bridge.
Right.
And I ran from the Peace Bridge to Strabane with him as they were starting off. And then I drove up the road the next night or whatever and done another couple of miles with him. And I think I done 20 odd mile with him in between it as well.
Well, man's an
but they were
inspiration.
running eyes nuts. His class.
Even they do that, you know what I mean?
It's different gravy. So
it is 100%.
So that's what I always say. I'm heavy and I run and people's asking, oh, what's this or what's running? Like, it's moving your legs.
Exactly.
It's thinking right. As long as your mind's right, it's
mind
you're
over
going
matter, isn't it, man? Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of what I figured out over life, you know what I mean? It's mind over matter.
So back to the gala now. Before we go, we'll go back and talk about the gala. So this gala is, when's it happening?
So it's happening on the 3rd of October.
The 3rd of October.
From 6 p.m. to 1 a.m.
So 6 p.m.'s the start.
Yep.
And you kind of have to be there at 6 or what time's a meal time or is there a set plan?
Well, the way it's working now, I have to go to the hotel now next week, 2 weeks' time now to kind of iron out all the fine details. So basically, you're better being there for 6 o'clock, you know what I mean? Get your transfer saves in. And then 7 o'clock, I think, call for dinner, so they get everybody situated, sat down. I think then.
And is there a set menu or is it?
There is a menu now. I couldn't tell you what's on it. Like I have it here on my phone, like you know what I mean. But very fine dining stuff, like you know what I mean.
It's very
just give me a steak, mate. You know what I mean. But you know what I mean. So you get your call for dinner around 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
You're done for about 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30, and then that's when we're gonna do. I'm gonna go up and kind of do some sort of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Thanking everybody and whatnot.
What do you like at them kind of speeches?
I've never done it before.
No?
I've always suffered with even speaking out in public.
Right.
Like some years.
So you're actually looking forward to doing the same because it's a challenge?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? That's if I can discover about myself, the more I put myself out there, you know what I mean? The more I face my fears, the better I grow. Like. And that's what we're all about, you know what I mean? Overcoming your obstacles. You know what I mean? And then after that, then we're going to show a short video of all our fundraising stuff that we've been getting up this last.
And what is the stuff you got up to? So Hard as Oak.
So we started off with, what did we start off with? We started off with Stairway to Heaven, Mount Erical, Hard as Oak. We were down in Northside too as well for a load of days too as well. Me and Karen done Strabane and half Lifford Marathon.
Excellent.
And then we've done Hard as Oak then in June. And then me and Karen done Antrim Coast Marathon there a couple of weeks ago. And then we're going to be finishing off with Derry and then the Gala.
Then that's that one kind of wrapped up.
And our airsoft event too as well. I forgot about airsoft. I was up in Forest Fitness too as well. I was all a part of it too. It was a great day that fella had organised for us too as well. You call him Lee. So we'll show that video, introducing, you know, the auction and doing his part with the raffle and the auction, you know what I mean, doing all that process. And then our entertainment's going to be JP Coyle and Liam Melly. And that's where we're going to finish.
Who are them? Is their local
DJs?
DJs, is it? Excellent.
So, and then we're just going to dance the night away then.
Dance the night away, excellent. You looking forward to it?
Oh, definitely. I'm looking forward to it, like, you know what I mean?
Hey, Sean, great having you on.
Great, pleasure meeting you, Phil.
Excellent. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.